Coming up on OC News, we have a look at a group of Dubai residents who escaped the deadly earthquake in Nepal, and an in-depth look at some reactions of the Bruce Jenner interview.
Also coming up, a man is facing over $20,000 in toll road fines, and we'll see how Justin Bieber crashed the prom over the weekend. OC News starts right now. Welcome to another edition of OC News. I'm Tisha Abrea.
And I'm Maurice Pennington. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
The Baltimore Riots have finally calmed down after the curfew installment placed last night at 10 p.m. Police backed by 2,000 National Guardsmen helped maintain order in Baltimore. There were only small arrests made, mostly due to the curfew violations. The curfew will continue for the rest of the week from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. for all citizens. The governor of Baltimore, Larry Hogan, does not believe it is the end of the riots, although the status is currently in control. Hogan told reporters, "There's still a lot of frustrations. There's still a lot of hostility. And there's still anger in the community. And there's still people out there that want to make trouble. And there's still some folks that are out there that want to get things out of control." End quote.
The death toll in Nepal has now passed 4,800 people. More than 9,000 are injured and 8 million have been affected by the devastating earthquake. Relief efforts continue to help those in need, and many organizations are asking for the public's help. Stories of devastation are now beginning to be shared through the media, and CNN now has a story of 6 tourists who survived the deadly quake. Here's a look.
They went to Nepal in search of adventure, 6 young men, all in their 20s, trekking near the Himalayas. But just one day in, Nepal's earthquake struck, and their holiday turned into a fight for survival.
It happened all of a sudden that we didn't really realize what's happening. And the people started screaming, "Earthquake!"
I felt like I'm going to die. I mean, I could literally see the rocks falling down, like big, huge rocks.
The young men, Hadil, Thanwir, Azhar, Mazhar, Sunil, and Nihad, were at a hotel some 100 kilometers north of Kathmandu when the earthquake hit. Then came the aftershocks.
There were just tremors all over the place again, every 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
So they moved with the other hotel guests and staff into an open field, far from the mountains. They had cameras, but little else. All slept outside for 3 days.
Night was really the toughest part. It was cold. It started raining. We didn't have anything to cover our heads.
The guys made beds out of hay and dry leaves. They had little food, just nuts, biscuits, and a bit of rice. With phones down, they also had no news and no way to call home.
We pretty much thought that our family is gonna have a funeral without us.
Eventually, they hiked to a nearby village, fearing another earthquake could come at any time. 6 hours later, they made it out and caught a bus to the capital. More than 5,000 people died in Nepal's recent earthquake. Nihad said he saw one of those victims, a woman clenching her child, both trapped under fallen rubble.
It was really, I can't say. It was very, very hard. Very hard for us to even explain it. Can't do it.
Now, home in the UAE, safe and sound, all realize just how fortunate they are.
When we saw that, what thing that was going on, my mind was, okay, fine, I'm gonna get back home safely. But what about these guys? These guys, they have lost their houses. They have lost everything. And they were still around us, helping us, feeding us, giving us shelter.
The guys' next adventure, they say, will be to raise money for those in Nepal who weren't so lucky. John Jensen, CNN, Dubai.
Last week, the Daily Titan wrote an editorial in regards to the poor treatment media members received from the school. They listed several examples of CSUF media relations officials delaying or denying inquiries from Daily Titan reporters and suggests article transparency issues regarding the campus in general. The article closed by urging President Mildred Garcia to take notice and put a stop to these unreasonable actions by her Strategic Communications Department. President Garcia responded Tuesday in an email sent to all students saying, quote, "I take these concerns very seriously. That is why I asked the Vice President for University Advancement, Greg Sachs, to coordinate several meetings with representatives of the Daily Titan," end quote.
Menifee resident Cameron Ananistad is being held responsible for $27,000 in express lane toll fees. He used the toll roads under his mother's account, but the card attached to the account was reported stolen and then canceled. The account was never updated with a new card, and Ananistad continued to use the express lanes on the 91 freeway. A collection agency is threatening to take away his home and money. The Orange County Transportation Authority did not comment on the case due to privacy laws. The agency sends 3 separate notices in the mail for every commuter's violation. Ananistad said he never received any notices, and he has hired an attorney to negotiate with the debt collector.
At 2:30 a.m. this morning, 18-year-old Garrett Martin was driving his SUV down Imperial Highway when he hit another vehicle. The 22-year-old driver was thrown out of his pickup truck, and Martin got out of his truck and began kicking the other driver in the head. A man driving by stopped at the scene and began to pepper spray Martin. When police finally arrived, they arrested Martin on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon and for driving under the influence of alcohol.
Coming up after the break, I have your weekend forecast, and it's looking a lot like summer. Stay tuned.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It fosters a sense of yearning to create, explore, and soar. It strengthens our will to climb to the top. It's the bedrock of our conviction that nothing's impossible. It transforms us and sets us free to thrive and build lives of purpose. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
The weather has thrown a curveball. Kelsey Lujan has the latest on whether this heat wave will last throughout the spring season.
We are definitely experiencing a heat wave this week, but it won't last for long. As you can see, our current temperature is at 95 degrees, and it is the hottest day today during the week. Our low temperature is at 64 degrees. The wind is at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 11%. The sun rose today at 6:03 a.m. and it will set at 7:33. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. As you can see, the temperatures are rising Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but it will start to cool down on Saturday and Sunday. Now, we did see a 20-degree change from last week, and it'll start to cool down a little bit next week as well and remain throughout the 70s. And it is still going to remain a little bit warmer in the nighttime, so maybe bring out a light jacket or no jacket at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at our national forecast. As you can see, it is red throughout the whole nation and is starting to heat up. New York actually experienced a 20-degree increase and at 76 degrees compared to last week at 59 degrees. So it is starting to warm up, and I guess that's what's beneficial about living in Southern California. Sometimes you experience rain and sometimes you experience a heat wave, but definitely nice to see this summer weather. Back to you guys.
Find out what app is making it easier to have recommended and fun experiences around town. Here's Tatiana Garcia with more details.
It seems as if we're always trying to find something to do, whether it be locally or on a wider scale. With the new app HeyLets, it makes decisions like that much easier by just the press of a button. HeyLets is a social network that only uses recommendations and has no use for negative ratings or reviews. Positivity is what drives the app, so negative comments are not welcome and not included. Since the app's U.S. launch in October 2014, HeyLets is now in over 90 countries and has been recognized by Fox, Huffington Post, NBC News, Yahoo, and LA Weekly. All you have to do is download the app on your mobile device, and then you can get started with your personalized feed of places and experience recommended by other people who have the same interests as you. HeyLets works by selecting your interests, exploring what locals recommend, and then finding exactly.
I studied abroad in Italy 2 summers in a row, so I was able to HeyLets a lot of the places that I've been there, and it's actually really cool because I've had people use my recommendations and say like, oh, thanks for the recommendation, like I really loved this sandwich place or stuff like that, so it's actually really rewarding.
After you find what you want, whether it be a yoga studio, park, or place to eat, you can then snap a pic and share it with your HeyLets community. The picture, along with the 200-word or less description, can then be used to the HeyLets community to know what an awesome meal or experience you had. The app HeyLets makes it really easy to get in contact with others. You can comment, message, and wishlist posts. This makes it really easy for when you're traveling to get in contact with locals for advice. The next time you're stumped on what to do, why not take out your phone and see what HeyLets has recommended for you? Reporting for OC News, this is Tatiana Garcia.
Do you remember what it felt like to have your favorite storybook read to you? Titan athletes have the opportunity to give elementary students that same experience every month as part of Titan Tales. Titan Tales gives student athletes a chance to share the importance of education. Here's why athletes continue to read and give back.
The Cal State Fullerton student athletes recently took time off from their busy schedules to give back to the children of their local community. This event is known to the children and to the athletes as Titan Tales, and each sports team at CSUF gets the opportunity to read and interact with the children at least once per school year.
I think it's wonderful to have people who can be role models in our local community coming and modeling the things that we want kids to have as a graduate of an elementary school. I think it's fabulous.
The kids range from kindergarten to 6th grade, and each team gets to speak to up to 4 classes.
The student athletes have read and interacted with many Fullerton elementary schools, such as Beechwood, Sunset Lane, Rolling Hills, and here at the Children's Center in Cal State Fullerton.
The student athletes share their experiences and also answer all the questions that the children may have regarding being a student athlete at a university, and they also encourage them to go to college and join a sport.
I just really enjoyed talking with the kids and really seeing what they felt about sports and how they really wanted to pursue sports in the future, and it's one of the greatest decisions I've ever made, and I hope that they can make the same decision and learn from the mistakes in which I told them.
The CSUF athletics program has championed Titan Tales for roughly 4 years now, and they intend to make it a tradition.
If you're looking for something to do on a Thursday night, check out the Fullerton Thursday Market for fresh produce, drinks, and artwork that shares an ancient culture. Reporter Genesis Miranda has the details.
The Fullerton Thursday Market, located on Wilshire Avenue and Harbor Boulevard, has a variety of booths, including everything from organic food to artwork. A popular booth for handmade artwork is White Llama. After leaving Peru 35 years ago, Raul Osorio began selling artwork from the Andes of Peru. He does shows all over the country from California to New York City. He stays close to his roots by visiting Peru 3 or 4 times throughout the year.
I started to sell a lot of things because I wanted to rescue part of the ancient products that they do in the Andes throughout time, since the time of the Inca. And something that I would like to mention is about these weavings that is made on looms, and design-wise they're ancient. And some of the people that they are practicing shamanism, they use it for a shamanic purpose. They use it as a tablecloth, that they do their feathers, stones, and things like that, and they do ceremonies to Pachamama, which is Mother Earth. And a lot of people in America, they know about this. We call it ayais, and they're ancient. And all these pieces I carry, they're vintage. They're like 20, 50 years old. I grew up there, so I miss my people, I miss the Peruvian food, I miss the people in general, and the countryside, things like that.
The market opened recently and will be running from now until the end of November. For OC News, I'm Genesis Miranda.
Stay tuned after the break. I have a closer look at the reactions from the Bruce Jenner interview coming up next.
Titan TV is a student-operated facility maintained by students.
It's on the Cal State Fullerton campus, and it's a great opportunity for Cal State Fullerton students to get hands-on experience directly in a studio environment.
Working with Titan TV puts me in this professional environment. Everyone here is really fun to work with, and everyone just gets along so well. I'm having a great time.
Our very own Dylan Lujano has the update on the story heard round the world, an Olympic icon's dramatic life change. Dylan?
Thanks, Maurice. It has been a juicy week in pop culture, and I have your Bruce Jenner update that the whole world can't stop talking about. According to the Nielsen ratings, the 2-hour special with Diane Sawyer gained almost 17 million viewers. Millions more chatted about the former Olympic athlete's gender transition on Twitter. According to preliminary Nielsen figures, it was the most watched Friday program excluding sports since 2003. Preceding the interview, E! Entertainment Network announced a new reality show about Jenner's transition is going to premiere in July of this year. According to People magazine, celebrities and fans are showing Bruce their support. Men and women around the world are uniting on social media to show support for Bruce Jenner in the wake of his 2020 interview with Diane Sawyer, in which he spoke candidly about his gender transition. Fans have started using the hashtag #PaintYourNails for Bruce on social media as an initiative to show support for the former athlete. He said during his interview that he longed to wear nail polish long enough for it to chip. Well, that's all I got for entertainment. Have a great week, and back to you guys.
A professor here on campus will now be teaching a class that reads and analyzes only Harry Potter books. Here's Christina Hilliard with the story.
Dr. Erin Hollis finds passion in literature. Much of it comes from her background in British, Irish, and American modernism, and the teaching she has taken from her favorite novelist, James Joyce, and the message of love within the Harry Potter series. With that, she created English 345T.
So several years ago, the Harry Potter series was coming to an end, and it was clear that it was a pretty big phenomenon. So I decided to create it as a way to think about Harry Potter from a literary perspective, but several other perspectives as well. It's a very interdisciplinary course.
Her interest in Harry Potter came about when the series first came out in 1999.
It kind of went with me throughout my whole grad career, and that was very significant, helping me with some of the issues I was going through.
When people hear that there's a class about Harry Potter, many may assume the students are casting spells and brewing potions, when in fact, the depth of this class is much deeper.
Sure, they're situating it in its moment and context, and then there's different ways of approaching the text that we do, like we approach it from queer theory or feminism or marketing, or there's a class on torture. So the issues that come up with Harry Potter are very, very challenging and deep, and we try to address those in the class. And I want students to be thinking the whole time. Yeah. I don't think having fun and being a critical thinker are mutually exclusive. So having those together is something that's very important to me, because I think that we should read things that are hard in ways that we read things that are easy, and vice versa. If you're
Although the course delves deep into the analyzation of the text, there are lighter aspects of the class.
Okay, a student made me this. This is actually the inspiration for my book. My book is called Leopold Bloom is My Patronus. And a student made me this, and it's me casting my Patronus, and the Patronus is Leopold Bloom, who is the main character of James Joyce's Ulysses. And that's where the whole idea of love comes from, is sort of Harry Potter and Leopold Bloom. The most important thing to me about the series is love. I'm writing a book about Harry Potter and James Joyce and love because of that, right? And not love like romantic love, but that's definitely part of it. But like love for people and being kind and figuring out what are the best choices to make in the moment. What I would want people to know about the class is that to encourage students to understand that it's okay to be critical of something that you love, right? Learning is a privilege, and every chance we get to learn and go and be in the classroom and engage with each other and be connected and have human connection can be fun and, like, more than fun, meaningful, right? So one thing I would like people to know is not to make a distinction between the different kind of classes, because if you pay attention, anything can be fun, because, like, there's so much to learn in the world. We're lucky, right? That's what I would want people to know.
And Professor Hollis teaches this class with great passion and hopes every student takes away something different from taking the course. And though it won't get you through platform 9 3/4, it will give you a greater understanding of a childhood classic. For OC News, I'm Christina Hilliard.
Justin Bieber never got to go to prom, so why not crash one and create a night to remember? Bieber and a few of his entourage showed up unannounced to Chatsworth Charter High School's prom in Los Angeles Saturday night. According to the school, the 21-year-old singer and a few friends pushed past security to get to the dance floor. Bieber stayed for less than 5 minutes, but that was enough time for students to capture the moment and post to social media, calling it the best prom ever. Tisha, how was your prom experience?
You know, I actually had a good prom experience. I was a prom princess, but I didn't get prom queen. How about you?
I wasn't voted at all to even be a candidate for prom king, so it really, that's pretty good for you. That's pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Well, that's all for this edition of OC News. Thanks for tuning in.
Final editions next week. Have a good night.